I'm proposing not a truce, but maybe a bit more of a discussion-y like debate than the vicious attack that I previously was engaging in. I'm kind of realizing now that, sitting here and calling Andrew fat and, racial slurs and homophobic slurs and all this kind of stuff, I thought it was just gonna be, thought of as funny, perceived as, just, obviously not me being serious, but I think some people are taking it seriously, and that's a mistake, all right? I really don't have any problems with Andrew as a person. I really don't. I think he's a generally funny guy. I think he's talented. I think he's proven that. I think he has a lot of loyal fans for a reason, obviously. And me just making fun of his weight and stuff, that's just me taking cheap shots, obviously. I thought it'd be more entertaining that way. But maybe I'm wrong, I'm new to this. So, you know what? Let's start over. I still propose that we have a political debate if you want to, Andrew. Or we could have any number of topics. I'd love to Skype for the podcast. I would love to, whatever ideas you have, I'm up for pretty much anything, man. But I'm gonna stop with the physical stuff. Yeah, I know you're obviously not some just big fat guy. I mean, you're obviously like somewhat in shape. So, I do apologize if I did offend any of you, like you or any of your fans that may have taken me more seriously than I was actually trying to be. So, listen, I'm a fan of the Very Okay podcast. I'd love to be a guest on. We can discuss our differences. We can have a flame war. We can do whatever you want. All right? But you know what? On my end, the fat and the this and it's just, I thought it was just going to be taken totally unseriously. But maybe it was my mistake. Maybe it's, maybe there's just certain things that, should just, stay out of the arena, so to speak. So listen, to all of Andrew's fans and Dylan's fans and Dylan's fans, because there's two Dylans. Well, I guess there's Dylan Rudd doesn't do the podcast as much. I thought he was going to be like, the third guy every time. Kind of disappointing that he's not. But also Dylan Hilly. You're not, obviously I'm going to pick on you and say that you're boring and all this kind of stuff, but you're, listen, I can't do what you do. I can't make a fucking podcast and coordinate it all and fucking, do all the editing. I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive you're the one behind all the technical stuff. And you do kind of host it. I mean, you do, you're the one that brings up pictures. You're the one that kind of keeps the conversation moving a lot of the time. So I'm not gonna rag on that kind of stuff anymore. But I'm still interested in I mean, I love the whole fuck Gail Rogers thing. I thought it was hilarious. If you guys ever thought that I was offended by that, I wasn't. I love it. you know, when it comes to me, it's like I said, it's a free game. It's an open, just open season on me. You know, I don't get offended very easily. But you know, it's kind of lazy for me to just be like, oh, Andrew's fat, and Dylan, he's boring, blah blah blah. You know, those are just insults that are, when I think about it, I'm just kind of being lazy. I can come up with way better insults for you guys if you want it. But listen, this whole me being an enemy of the show, I think your fans kind of dig it, and maybe it's the way to go, or maybe a truce is the way to go. But either way, I'm rooting for this podcast. You know that? Um, I am going to, uh, have some of my good friends make sure they subscribe. Um, I'm sure we'll have some future videos where at least the discussion is about me. I'm hoping that you guys can actually have me on to have a discussion with you guys, or a debate, or if you want to flame war, we can go that route. I mean, it gets clicks, dude. It does. But yeah, I do apologize. It's just too lazy, the insults. Um, you know, uh, and I realize you guys, even though you guys do talk about politics, it's obviously your podcast isn't a politically focused podcast. But I was thinking it was more along the lines of like Joe Rogan, where like once in a while, you talk politics, and you guys do. So if you want to have a Bernie versus what do you guys like, Trump, or you guys like Rand Paul or somebody? I actually like Rand Paul a lot. But if you guys are a Trump fan, I'd love to do a Bernie versus Trump, or I'm actually a big fan of Andrew Yang, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are too. He's actually pretty much a capitalist. Milton Friedman, uh, who is undoubtedly the philosopher of modern libertarian philosophy, the guy that came up with most modern libertarian philosophy. He was for a universal basic income. So I'm a big Yang fan. I know he's a little bit on the liberal side because he wants to do the value added tax, and he wants a lot of he wants to combat climate change. He believes in science. I guess the only other issue that we'd have a big disagreement on is I think you guys are probably pro-life. A lot of people in the South and Midwest are pro-life. Even libertarians that say do whatever you want, but they consider fetuses to be actual humans. So they stop liberty at that point, because they consider you actually killing a fetus as actual murder. And I mean, you can get as anarcho capitalist as you want, and nobody's for the legalization of murder. Maybe a few nutbags out there, but definitely not me or you guys, I would assume. So I'm going to take a different approach. I would still like to do some response videos. If you guys want to rag on me on the podcast still, that'd be great. Do another Fuck Gal Rogers discount special. I'd love it. But yeah, I'm going to take a bit different approach, because first of all, I'm not being sincere. Dylan's not the most boring person on earth. Andrew's not he's not huge, he's not fucking obese. So, you know, so take it as you want it, guys. I like being a part of this, even though I'm like, you know, your guys' favorite your guys' favorite, not enemy, but like, I don't know, villain or whatever you want to you know, think of me as. Um but but yeah, you know what? To all of Dylan and Andrew's fans, guess what? I'm one of you guys. I'm a fan too. I've been following Andrew and Dylan Rudd especially for years now. I actually knew, if you guys know Alec Thomas, I actually knew him in real life. He used to live in the same apartment building as I did. So so that's how he actually added me to the meme page that you guys, I forgot what it's called. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name right now. Sorry. Um, but yeah, yeah, maybe we should tone it down a little bit with the insults, or not. I don't really give a shit, but you know, I don't want you guys thinking that I'm some like hateful, spiteful fucking guy that's like, "Ugh, I'm gonna say anything I can to make Andrew and Dylan feel bad about themselves." That's, you know, it's really not me. I'm not that. I'm not like that salty of a person. I don't have to take things that seriously. So yeah, I will see what kind of response this video gets, and we can go from there. All right, peace, and still, fuck you.